everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer as a Lifestyle. Today I just got back from my oncologist and I wanted to give everyone an update of what's been going on since last month on all my medical appointments. So if you remember last month I had like 4 appointments back to back, and out of the 4, one I actually passed. I'm good for 10 years. Another one I had to reschedule. The third one is still pending for insurance. And the fourth one I have to redo. So let's start in order. Because it's kind of funny, I touched all the bases out of the 4. So when I did my mammogram, they did just a regular screening that they give everyone, which is not what I need. I never passed those. So let's just make that clear. And let me adjust this for a minute. So I never, excuse me. So I never passed those. I've always had to go and redo them and do a more intense screening of my breasts. That's just something that I've always had to go through. Now, of course, after I get the letter in the mail and saying that, hey, you need to come back for further screening and all, I'm always, of course, I always do a self-exam regardless, if I'm in the shower or I'm, sleeping. I regularly give myself a self-exam. I check under my armpits. I check for pain, for lumps, for anything that is not normal in this general area. Okay. So of course I can tell you that I'm about 99% sure that there is nothing wrong. I do not have any lumps or anything, but I always have to go back for more intense screening. Now, if you had one of those, you know what I'm talking about. They really take an image of your entire breast, and that's like from your armpit on, and it actually is very uncomfortable. It's a little painful too. I would say more uncomfortable and has some discomfort to it. So yeah, so that's almost common, but insurance nowadays does not want to pay for anything other than just the basic screening. So we play this game. It seems I go for my basic screening. I have it done. I don't pass it. They tell me to come back for more intense one. I come back, get my more intense one or whatever. I don't know how to call it, and I'm good to go. Everything's fine until the following year. We do this all the time. Insurance just does not want to go straight for that. They're looking for probable cause all the time. But anyway, so of course I have to re-scratch. I'm going to have to redo this one. The next one, a couple days later, actually like a week or so later, I had to go in for my colonoscopy. I passed that, no problem, had no issues whatsoever. I did do a vlog on that and on my prep and things that I was doing. I will put that in the comments below if you haven't seen it and are interested in seeing it. It'll be there. Also, I had a gentleman comment on that vlog who has had, I think, 6 or 7 colonoscopies himself, and he has written quite a few articles on the subject. So he also placed his link in the comments. So if you are interested and we're looking for information or have a history of, issues like that, maybe you may want to read up on his articles also. So that will be in the comments. Let's see. And the third one, like a couple days later, I had a CT scan. Now, my CT scan, for some reason, was coming out pending and was not approved by my insurance. Now, I thought for a minute that maybe it was because it's new insurance and it needed to go through the process of pending and going and but it's still pending. Let's put it that way. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to even approve it, or they may consider this I don't have probable cause for a CT scan. This seems to be their favorite line nowadays for insurance companies, and I hear that a lot of cancer patients no longer do them unless something seriously happens. I don't know. We will see. This is something that I wanted to find out when I went to my oncologist visit, which I had today. And the fourth one had to be rescheduled because my doctor went on vacation. Anyway, so today I went back and I had my oncologist, and this is my main doctor that I see all the time, and she kind of sends all the referrals out to all my other, for whatever, like my mammogram and my colonoscopy and everything else. She basically does all of that. So I went back today and I told her about the CT scan and what happened, because she was seeing that I didn't have one, that it's still pending. We had a discussion about that, and we both are suspecting that that might be the case, that insurance may want to, may not think that I have probable cause to have continue on with CT scans. Even though I have ovarian cancer, which is a reoccurring cancer, which has come back 4 times, um, they may not consider that. I don't know. If you know, I don't know. Insurance just doesn't want to pay for anything. I also did a vlog on my CT scan and mammogram together. I will also put that in the comments if you have not seen that one. I will put the link to that. What we're going to do is, she issued another CT scan, and she was a lot more elaborate on her description as for my reasons why I need one. So we're thinking that it was maybe too vague last time. So because, for instance, I know people depend on the CA-125, which is blood work done for cancer patients, to test if your blood work levels have gone up, your cancer levels have gone up. Now, a lot of people have their CA-125s and they're very high. And I think the safe point is up to 30. I'm not really sure because I've never had high numbers. This is the problem. I think it's 35 actually. I've never had high CA-125s. I think mine is at like a 6. And even when my cancer has come back, either all 4 times, it's never gone really high. It might have gone up a point or 2, but it's never really gone up enough to send like a red flag when they do the blood work. That, you know, hey, something's going on. We need to test her. So we can't really rely on the CA-125 for me. Now, it could be it's different for every patient, but for me, it does not really do the work. We can't rely on that. And the same thing with a pelvic exam. For me, it doesn't, it's not something that they can use just for me. For instance, because when we do detect cancer growing, we catch it so early that it's very small. My cancer, except for the very first time where my tumor weighed 7 pounds when they removed it, the other 3 times, maybe because I had a CT scan, I was getting scans every 3 months, that we were catching it very early, and it was very small. But the way she made it sound is because that's what I am. Mine comes back small, and we catch it early. That other people's maybe comes back quicker, grows faster. I'm not really sure. I'm only speaking about myself right now. So relying only on the pelvic exam and on a CA-125 is not going to work for me. So like I said, she ordered a new one. We scheduled it. She was more elaborate in the reasons why, more descriptive and elaborate, however way you want to put it. So we'll see what happens, and yeah, so that's going to go. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I had my blood work done. I can't even show you because, wait a minute. Let me see if I can roll up I am full of just gauze, and so I had my blood work done. You see that? Here's I don't know if you can see it. Here's my Band-Aids, and actually, you know what? I was watching her draw my blood, and it was just, I swear it was like coming little at a time. I've never been, before my cancer, I used to have the most biggest, beautiful veins ever. In cancer treatment, chemotherapy, it just diminishes your, your veins. So they're barely non-existent on my arms. They really are. After 4 times of cancer returning and 4 rounds, it's a lot. Ouch! I'm taking off the tape. You know, their band-aids are like super strong. And you know, and I said this to the nurse one time. I said, how come I can't get these? You buy these in the store and it like they fall off right away, right? No problem. You get a little bit wet or something, it comes off. Not at the hospital. You know what the nurse told me? That they have special ones that are just for the hospitals. I wonder if she's lying to me. Anyway, where's my port? I had my port done. Huh. My flushed. Let's put it that way. I will tell you that having a port seems to intimidate a lot of nurses. Now, if you're a nurse, please don't be offended by why I'm saying this. This is my experience. When I go into my oncologist to have, and I need to get this flushed every 3 months, I always have an issue. And I keep reminding them and all, but they somehow always forget. I always have to make like I don't want to say a big deal about it, but it's like I have to tell my doctor, and she has to go find me on the. And I was speaking to my regular nurse that kind of administers this all the time, and I wonder if they're a little like if they're a little intimidated by this. You know, when if you ever if you know what a port is, it's not like a needle that they stick in you. It's almost like a hook, okay? And it's big, and you have to take a deep breath when they stick it in you really good. And I'm sorry if you're a nurse and you're offended by what I'm saying, but I wonder if this is kind of intimidating for, because this is not an everyday thing. I don't know. I always have an issue, so I'm sorry. If you're a nurse, please tell me why. I can't. I'm always having to make a big deal. Or maybe they're forgetting it because I'm not in the chemotherapy section, you know, of the clinic where they do this all the time, where they flush it out. But it should be flushed out every 3 months. So I've actually, this time around, after making a big, you know, issue about it, they actually put it on my I don't want to say referral forms, but you know how you leave with all your appointments and all. That I actually have to had to make an appointment to come in every 3 months to flush, make sure I go and flush it out. So I'm gonna make a trip all the way to my, which is like an hour drive just to get it flushed. But it has to be done. You know, I am not taking this sucker out. I did a port vlog and why, and I know a lot of people don't like a port and they take it out right away. I actually know of a lady who's had a port done and she somehow had a lot of issues with it and they had to take it out. But I am not. And if you want to watch that video and why, I will also put that in the comments below. So I did get my port done. I left the house, I'm not kidding you, like 6:30, 6:45 this morning. It is like after 1 o'clock right now, and I just got home. Doctor visits, now I go to a hospital, so all my doctor appointments and scans and tests and things like that are all done in the hospital. I go to their cancer clinic there. I have my own oncologist. You know, my GP, you know, my radiation, everything was done there, is done there, you know. And I find that anytime after 10 o'clock, you almost cannot find a parking spot in their parking lot. It is so full of people, like all the waiting rooms are full, and it's just, I mean, there are a lot of sick people. I'm telling you, it takes a long time, the whole process. Now, here I am. I have new insurance. So, mind you, I have done this, I think, 3 or 4 times. I mean, every time I go to the doctor, it's a different department. I'm going to an appointment. I have to register all over again with my new information. Even though I've done it on the phone, even though it's like I find it so frustrating. So, my point here is that if you're going to go and you have any changes done, like you got a new doctor, a new doctor, or if you have a new insurance or anything, you have to give yourself some time just to fill out all the forms all over again, or go on registration and Like, I went to a CT scan last month when I went there. They were having me do like this. I thought they were giving me the tablet, and I thought they were gonna have me do a survey or something. I was putting all my information down onto this tablet. So it's like things are just like so much different, and it takes a lot of time now for me to go to a doctor. This is the first time that I've actually taken off work to do so. Can you believe that? Because I found it just too stressful for me. Here I am. I just got up. For instance, I will tell you, I got off work at 1 o'clock. No, excuse me, 10:30 at night. I got home. It was 1 o'clock. I was working 10-hour day yesterday. I came in. I had to get up actually at like 5:30. Uh, leave the house at 6:30, 6:45 to make an 8:40 appointment. Because I work second shift, because I work in the afternoons and on, and I have to do everything in the morning. So I try to get the earliest appointment possible. So I didn't get much sleep, first of all. And I try to get the earliest appointment that I can. And then when I get there, I go through a lot in the waiting, and I wait. Especially here with my oncologist, because I know I'm going to have to get labs done. I know I'm going to have to flush this port out. I'm going to have to do, and I knew that I was going to have to register again, you know, and with my insurance card. And like look at what time it is. I got there, you know, 8:40 appointment, and I'm just getting home now. It's after 1. I was done, I think it was like around noon or something. So, you know, it's an all day thing, and I'm tired, I'm hungry, and, you know, when I left, it was freezing cold. I'm telling you, it was so cold this morning, and now it's sunny out. So let me see, what else did I wanted to update everyone on? Yeah. So right now, that's what we're doing. Everything else looks good. I have been having quite a bit of neuropathy. Is that how you say it? In my hands, the numbness and the tingling. It actually feels like when your leg falls asleep, and then you wake it up. So I've just been feeling it a lot in my hand, especially my left hand. Um, the doctors will, and I told my doctor then, she's like, well, but you're not going through treatment. You're in remission. I say, yeah, but I mean, honestly, ask anyone who has cancer and had cancer, even when you're in remission, we all still feel it. We get that tingling. We experience it in different, times in our from that point on, from being in remission. So we still have all these side effects, and these doctors look at us like we're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? That's only when you're in treatment. That's a bunch of bull. Because I know many people that experience that numbness in their hands long after the treatment, and it just stays with them. This is like one of our side effects. But I've noticed that I think it's the winter months that bring it out. I think the most, because it's just been really bad. And especially in my left hand, and it's just, the tingling is just, it's just really bad. And sometimes when I wake up in the morning, it hurts really, really bad. So that's just about it. Otherwise, I'm feeling really well. Everything went well, and we're just going to, get our mammogram. We have to reschedule that, and we're gonna go for the CT scans. Hopefully, this time it will go through. Or if not, then we're just gonna have to do something else, and which kind of, I've been thinking about this a lot, because what if that is an option, and what if I don't get any more CT scans unless there is an actual, what they consider probable cause. So I'm gonna have to do. I'm thinking, what can I do to keep myself as healthy as I can? I've been thinking of, I do my vitamins. I do a lot of vitamins, and maybe I should do a vlog about my vitamins. I'm not sure, because I do a lot of vitamins that have usually to help combat a lot of the side effects that I have from the treatments with my legs and my mobility and my joints and the aches and pains, and also, and for my immune system, for instance. So We always joke, my daughter and I, that excuse me, we have our vitamins are like our breakfast. We have a whole bunch. Well, anyway, so that's one way that I was thinking. Another way maybe I have to make sure I eat healthy and no preservatives, and I mean continue on, and I'm gonna have to incorporate maybe even some exercising. I'm not sure, but I have been thinking about this a lot, and if this is what happens, and I can't do CT scans anymore, I'm gonna have to come up with really getting some better care for myself, and so, which I was thinking about, that maybe I need to do another food diary update and kind of incorporate, kind of give you an update of where I'm at with that, with my eating healthier and all, and um, and maybe incorporate more things in there. So, but that's something I'm gonna have to give you another update on the food diary, I think. And after I sit down and kind of really rethink of what can I do to kind of keep myself healthy and physically strong. Uh, yeah. So that's about it. Um, yeah, it's been a pretty good visit, I have to say. I've noticed that, I've been going there for so long. I mean, I've been going there actually since 2011. That is not my very first oncologist. The very first one I've had, or actually the one that diagnosed me, I moved from that hospital into to the one who stayed with me and actually been there with me for a good part. Then my insurance, I think, from 2007 to 2011. Then my insurance changed again. It's funny how your insurance keeps changing, and a lot of companies change it regularly almost nowadays. And they changed it, and it was not accepted at that hospital at that time, so I had to move, and that's where it brought me to where I am with my current hospital, my current oncologist, that I am very happy with, extremely happy, and I was happy with my last one too. So, since 2011. So, but I have noticed that a lot of the people that were there with me, the nurses, the assistants, the receptionists, and all, have really moved on. And here I've spoken to someone who I've known the whole time since 2011, and she's retiring, and it's just kind of like, wow, Maria, I'm not going to see you anymore. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of like, you see all new faces all over again. And my oncologist is pregnant for the fourth time again. So it's also a wonderful. And this time she is having a girl. 3 boys, and this time she's having a girl. And I feel great, because I feel like, I think she had only one child when I started with her. I have brought her a lot of fertility luck, I think. So silly. So anyway, I just made myself a fresh cup of coffee. I am going to enjoy my coffee and maybe have some lunch. And I just wanted to give you a quick update on my medical appointments, and it looks like it's doing good. And it's looking good so far, and hopefully that we can overcome a lot of these insurance issues that we're having. And yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Comment below what has been your experience. Are your insurance taking away a lot of the tests that you have been doing for your chronic illness or your cancer? Are they just paying for screenings? Because that's the impression I'm getting, that right now they just really are backing away with from a lot of the things that they used to cover, they're not covering anymore. So I really be interested in hearing, if that is the case for you. And also hit the thumbs up if you like the video, and have a blessed day, everyone. Bye bye.